Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Rush to make a video. Now I'm using Rush on my laptop, but you can use this as an app on your phone or a tablet as well. It's totally up to you. It works all basically the same whether you're on a desktop or on another device, but things are just in a little bit different place. So just watch out for that if you decide to use a phone or a tablet. Like I said, same type of options, just in slightly different places. Alright, so let's get to it. So first off, what I need to do is I want to create a new project. So I'm going to come up here to the big blue button that says create a new project. Okay, so from here I can go ahead and look through my files and figure out what I want to use for this project. This is where having some organization is really helpful. So for this, I actually just saved my video. Speaking of being organized, my desktop's a little unorganized right now. Let's see. Oh, how to use Rush. There we go. So I'm actually going to be using, I'm going to be making the video for how to take a better headshot photo, but I'm going to be using Rush to turn this longer video, which was, I believe, 6-7 minutes long, into a short form video, and my goal is to get it to be under 90 seconds. Okay, so let's see if I could do this. Now before I start editing, I want to show you guys around so you get an idea of what there is. So let's just start from the top. If you want to go back home to where we started, you click here on home. Right now we're in the edit tab, so this is where we're going to be able to edit. Once you're done editing, we will click on share, and this will give us different share options. Right over here we have this blue plus sign. This is to add media. So right now I'm just working off of one long video that I shot, but if you wanted to add multiple videos, maybe graphics that you designed that you want to add in, photos, whatever you want, basically that are either designs, photos, videos, you can add those in and have multiple graphics and such in here. Alright, right here we also have, so this is everything in our project, so everything that's already part of our project, all of our project assets. So we have the video that I just brought in, and then the sequence. Now the sequence is referring to this line here, so this is considered a separate asset because we're going to be changing all of this up. So this is going to be separate from the original video that I recorded. Alright, so I'm going to close this down for now. Now let's see, right down here we also have duplicate, so we can make a duplicate of whatever we have. So let's say you need to bring up another photo again, you can duplicate that again. If you needed to trash something, you could trash that here. Here we can change to an expanded view, which is really nice. I like having an expanded view personally. Let's see, I'm going to move myself up here real quick. So we can see our audio down here, and we can actually add even more area, even more clips if we needed to. And I actually prefer this view, which is control tracks. So here I could see that I have multiple tracks. So if I wanted to add a photo above here, or more audio down here, I can. Now some of you may have used Premiere Pro before, and so this is going to start looking a little bit more familiar if you have used that before. This is basically like a very simplified version of Premiere Pro. That's why it's called Premiere Rush. You still have, you know, the basic capabilities, but not quite all of the little bells and whistles that you can find when you use Premiere Pro. And there's a whole nother class on that. Alright, so if you don't like this view, that's fine. You could just change this by taking that off. You could change this and, you know, get to a smaller view. But like I said, me personally, I like having lots of control. I like to be able to see everything. So, what else do we got over here? Okay, we have an undo button. So yes, nice, undo if we need to. And then we could give feedback. So this is great for if you end up working for like a company or a group or a team, or you start your own company where there's multiple people. You guys can actually work on the same project together and give feedback. It's a little bit more advanced. We don't cover that in this class, but just want to let you know about it. Okay, so right here we have basically pre-made graphics that you can add. So let's take a look real quick. Okay, so if I hit the plus add the add graphic, then we get these different types of graphics. We have titles, so if I wanted to add a nice title here, transition graphics, moving from like one clip to another, that's what a transition is, and then overlays, so overlays would go over what you already have going on. And you have some random ones here. You can click more to look for even more, scroll through, find some different stuff going on. Yeah, so there's all kinds of fun extra things over here. If I want to get rid of all this, I just have to hit this X and it's closed out. Alright, and if I want to get rid of this over here, I can just click on this again and it'll go back in. Alright, let's see. Let me move myself over here now. I'm moving all over the screen today. Alright, over here we have some basic effects. So again, this isn't Premiere Pro where you have all kinds of different effects, but you have the basics. The basics to make a decent looking video. So the most important one, at least for me, is transitions. So if you have multiple videos and you don't want it to be really jumpy when you're cutting to one video, you can add transitions like dissolve, which will slowly dissolve from one clip to another. Black will turn the clip black and then go into the next video clip. White, same but with white, and such. You guys can explore these all on your own. These are some, once you see them, you've seen them before. Alright, pan and zoom. Let's see, is it going to let me open it? Maybe it doesn't. Oh, it looks like it's grayed out from my video. So maybe there's something about my video it doesn't like. But we'll just see. Look at this little thing. Come on. Well, okay, basically pan and zoom is when a video, so you have a video clip going, but it's slowly moving to the side or slowly zooming in. I think that this works best when you have slideshows with a whole lot of photos. So it keeps these still photos kind of interesting by adding a very slight movement. They can be used for some other things too, but that's what I use it most for. Okay, then we have auto reframe. Auto reframe, basically you're asking the computer to reframe where your video is to what it thinks is best. I don't really use it much. Motion tracking, maybe for people who do sports and stuff, this might be more important. I don't know. But for this assignment, you probably don't have to worry about this, but just know that it is there. Alright, what else do we have? We have colors. So we don't have, we have some things that we can play with, so we can do like exposure, when we talked about photos, so some of the same things. We can add contrast, and you can see that it's changing up here. Let me go ahead and double click on, if you double click on the name, it resets it back to 0. So if I take the exposure up, yeah, that's like way too much, that's way too dark. I'll just leave it there for now. So highlights takes the lightest part of your image and makes them darker. Shadows takes the darkest part of your image and makes it lighter. Temperature is going to be if something is too yellow or too blue. So if it's too blue, you add more yellow. If it's too yellow, you add more blue. Tint is green and magenta. So if it's too green, you add more magenta. If it's too magenta, you add more green. Okay. Vibrance, it basically makes the colors that aren't super bright a little bit brighter, and saturation makes like all colors super bright. I tend to stay away from saturation except to take it down, because sometimes like if you add a lot of contrast, then your colors get super bright and look really funky. So I take the saturation away, or I might use saturation to go black and white. But if I just want to pump up the colors a little bit, vibrance is a little bit better to pump up colors, I think, than using the saturation. See there, I look orangey. If you're looking right here, it looks so orangey. That doesn't look good. But if I take the vibrance up about the same, it's just barely pumping up the colors. It has a nicer look to it. Okay. Anyways, let's see what else. We have some advanced, so faded film, so you can make it look like you have faded film. You can sharpen, make it a little bit sharper. And a vignette is basically adding a darkness to the sides, to the edges, or lightness to the edges. So it looks like if we go up, it's lightness. If we go down, it's darkness. And the amount of feather for that vignette. Okay, so you can see the vignette really, yeah. Ugh. Okay, let's double click on that. But it can be helpful for some things. All right, let's see. And then, of course, there's presets. So, like filters, if you want to just add a preset over the whole thing, you can. I'm just, clicking around the different ones. I tend to not use filters too much. I like to do my own edits, I like to take control instead of my... Now, let's see. It looks like we have our own presets you can add to. I don't have any added. Like I said, I would rather just do some slight edits than use a preset. But that's just me. Maybe you love presets, and that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to none. Okay, let's keep on going. So right here we have the speed. Oh, this could be really fun. So sometimes when you're trying to get a video down to be a lot shorter, you need to speed something up. So you can speed a video up. It's like I just took this 6 minutes to 45 seconds. Okay, this isn't going to be great for this type of video, but like, let's say, you're walking down the street, or like you're doing a review or something, and yeah, you're walking down the street and you need to speed up a bit of the video as you're walking, you can do that. Now, let's say, okay, let me go ahead and there we go, 100. Okay, so let's just say that I'm just going to pick a spot. I wanted to cut this video so that I could change the speed from here to over here. Well, what do? Is I place this where I want to cut it, and then I click on these little scissors right here. So now it has cut my clip there. Okay, so now let's say, okay, I figured out that I want to cut it there, like I want this area to be faster, so then I'm going to cut it again. So now I want to make sure I click on the part that I want to change the speed on. Okay, and now I accidentally changed. Here we go. And now I could go ahead and change the speed of just this area, so I could slow it down, I could speed it up. And so let's go ahead and see what happens.
At the store, we're only going to be...
Let's see, let's start it back over here a little bit.
If you don't quite have the money to buy something really nice, you can go to a thrift store. We're only going to be seeing this photo from up here to here. So you go to the store, find the things are nice, hot,
okay, so obviously for this specific video that's not going to work well, but you can see that I could definitely speed things up. So let me go ahead and undo a couple times because I don't want to keep any of that. Okay, but I just wanted to show you guys real quick. Now, while I was there, I forgot to show you. So if you click on ramp, instead of jumping straight into being super fast, it will kind of like fade into being super fast. So that's always nice to turn on if you're doing something like this. Maintain audio pitch works really nice also. Most of the time it keeps it from my voice. If you notice my voice went really high pitched all of a sudden, it'll keep it a little bit lower. So some things to play with as you're editing. Right over here we have audio, so you can add audio. I can browse the different audio. Now the one thing I don't like about Rush that kind of drives me crazy, I'm pretty sure at least, let me just double check before I say it. No, it's not even giving me advanced channels. Okay. Is that it doesn't seem to let me bring in my own audio. Oh, wait. Did they change it? Add media, audio. Yeah, okay. It's the same. It doesn't let me bring in my own audio, which I don't like that. I like to bring in my own audio. You can do a voiceover. You can record your voice over your video, but it looks like, yeah, it's not going to let me upload my own audio, which is the one thing that I really don't like about this. Everything else works pretty good. But anyway, so you can search around. They have loops, sound effects, and soundtracks. I like doing a lot of videos with like EDM, and I've used all of them already. I think that they have, because they don't have very many. Oh, actually a lot more comes up on here than the phone app. On the phone app, only like 4 come up. I use the phone app quite a bit, actually, to make quick videos for Instagram and such. Okay, Well, anyways, so you can add audio here. Let's go ahead and just add something random real quick. So I'm going to click on the track I want. If I want to preview it, I just have to click the little play button here. Okay, and then I can go ahead and click add. Alright, and now it's added right down here. So now that we have that, we can control some things. We can control the clip volume. So that's controlling this clip volume. See how there's the orange box around it? That means that's what's being changed. I can click on this and change that clip volume also if I wanted to. I can also decide to mute it. Say I didn't want my voice on there at all. You can also change the different type of audio and play with the advanced stuff on here. So right now I have the voice on. Let me do mute. So it's detected that it's voice. I could do an auto volume, balance sound, reduce background noise, reduce echo, enhance speech. So these are all things that you can kind of just play around with and see if it works out for your video or not. And if I go ahead and click on this, it's now changed. It's auto detected that it's music, and this one only has auto volume and auto duck. So auto duck turns down any background music that would be in the original video instead. Okay, so let me lost my spot real quick. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys something else real quick, is the effects. So let's go ahead and open up effects. Oops, what did I do? There we go. I can actually add effects and transitions to my audio as well. So I can add the dissolve, and I could see it really well right now. Now, if for some reason you can't see it, if you come over here to this bar, and you need to make all this bigger, what you do is you click on the circle at the edge, and you stretch this out, and this changes the size of the overall timeline, so you can basically zoom in or zoom out as necessary. So if I need to, let's zoom in a bit more so I can find where that, where'd it go? There it is. So I can change the transition. I can. So if I come over here to the end of the transition, you see I have like this little red, or this little icon, like a red thing. So I can click and drag, and now my transition comes out longer. So instead of the sound just subtly, like coming in really fast, whoops, I just hit something over here, you can make it come in, take a long time to get to full volume, basically. And this can really help when you're transitioning from different clips to try to match the audio along with the transition of your video clips. Now, this isn't a full video class, so we can't go into all the things that make a great video, but I just want you guys to get your feet wet with this assignment and, just play around a bit. Now, the very last thing we're going to look at is, let's see, I looked at audio. We do have a transform. So you see everything's grayed out right now. That's because we have audio selected. Let's go ahead and click on my clip here. And we can change if we want it to fill the screen, which I think it is right now, or fit. So it's going to pull in all the way. I can change where it is here. Okay, I could change the vertical position. So this is helpful. Like, I've made videos before where I have multiple photos, but I want them to be, well, let's see, let's just pull something. Well, let's see, let's pull something in real quick so I can show you. Let's go back here. Okay, let's just open this ad. Okay. Alright, so let's say for some reason that I wanted this as just part of it. So right now, this is the full size of this image. Now I'm going to go ahead and click fit, and that's what it would look like there. Now let's say I just wanted it to overlay over here. Okay, let's pull this over here. Alright. So now you can see that it's kind of in the middle of my image. And let me get it to a different spot. Okay. So let's say that instead I wanted it to cover this bottom area. So I can actually change it. Oh, that was my horizontal. My vertical position. So it's just right down there. So I've done this before when I wanted to like stack multiple photos onto one area of a video, or maybe a photo, a video, a photo, something like that. It can be really fun. And so you can change the position of where everything is. Now you can see that I also added this to another track, is what we call it. So here we have the first track, here's the second track. In Rush we have up to 4 tracks. You can do basically up to 4 stacks or layers of something at one time. I can also rotate. I can also change the opacity. So let's say I wanted to go up, let's see, make it bigger. Let's fill it up. Let's take the opacity down. So if I wanted it to be some kind of like overlay, I could do that too. You can flip things, flip them, flip them, flip them. You can also scale it, so if I wanted to make it smaller or larger, I could have done it this way as well. Alright, let's see what we have for advanced options. It looks like we do have a crop, so we can move things in from the, well, this says top, but remember this was originally the top of the image. I turned it. So that's getting a little bit confusing now, but you can crop certain parts of it. Okay, so you can see that even though this is a simple version, there's still a lot that you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to do an edit on the video that I'm working on, and then I'm going to come back so you guys can kind of see what a finished edited video is going to look like, and then how we're going to go ahead and share it. Okay, so I finally got my editing done. It took me a little bit longer than I thought, but it's really hard to cut down videos, okay? So, that's where the planning comes in, and even though I kind of did plan to do this when I recorded the original video, it was still tough. So let me show you what a final would look like, okay? So here's my video. I have titles. So I have titles that came in, and if you remember, I can add titles right. Boop, 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 graphics, add graphics, and you can search for titles. So I found this really great one. It was actually a full screen one, but all I had to do was click and drag it to where I wanted, and I made it work for what I needed it to. So just a quick, so you guys could see.
So today I want to share with you 5 tips on how to take a more professional profile photo. You want to dress for the job you want.
Okay.
Maybe you're...
So you guys have seen the full video before. This is the shortened video. And you can tell, I mean, you guys have been hearing me lecture for a while. I think you can tell that I kind of sped it up a little bit. So I did have to speed up every clip because I just couldn't get it to fit with all the information I needed to get in there. Now, I was trying to find a place that was, that didn't seem too obvious. I think the beginning is actually the most obvious. And it usually between, because it's at 100% speed is regular speed. And I think once you hit about 125% speed, that's where it starts to get really obvious. So I kept mine, I think mine was 118% speed for every single clip pretty much. And, you know, what can you do? I was trying to keep it under 1 minute and 30 seconds. I ended up at 1:34. And so I didn't really do that many transitions. I did do a transition at the very end. I felt like the transitions for this specific video wasn't working, so
add a little bit of a vignette. So a vignette adds either dark or light around the edges.
You can't really tell because it's just, you know, the jump cuts aren't that obvious, right? So I think it turned out okay. At the very end, I did add one.
Okay. All right, sweet. That's it.
So one transition there, that's that orange where it transitioned out real quick. And I want to let you guys know something, that if you're like in here and you're trying to move things around and you're not getting like these little red arrows, make your timeline bigger and it'll make it way easier to see where things are. Click on things and then click and drag things around. So if I want to make this transition longer, I totally can by clicking here and pulling this in and then chesting it out.
That's it.
Okay, so
today I want to share with
anyways, I just wanted you guys to see what a finished file in here would actually look like with all of the different cuts and transitions and everything. It does take some time to really get it how you want it. watching it over and over again, trying to get it just right. Now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click on share, and I can go ahead and change this. I'm going to change this to 5 tips for, oops, I'm in caps. Okay, oops, 5 tips for profile photos. I'm going to shorten it a little bit, and I'm going to do short, because I have a long version already, right? So I want to make sure that I know that this is my short one. Where do I want to save it to? I want to make sure I save it to the right place. So I actually need to get it over here real quick. Nope, it's having a hard time. I'm just going to go ahead and save it to my desktop. Sometimes it has a hard time saving to cloud locations, so I just save things straight to my phone or to the desktop. That's why I have this how to use Rush video anyway, so let's just throw it in there. Alright, and I can go ahead and hit export, and then it exports, and it takes a little while. No big deal. It'll give you a message when you're done. Alright guys, so that's how you use Adobe Rush in a very quick video. I hope you guys have fun turning your blog post into this video. I'm sure you will.